You got to understand that because of low self-esteem, you can't see yourself with the west side of the Jordan, but God is about to give you the stuff that you can't fathom. I wish I had a witness in this place, but I don't want you to be afraid of the enemy of fear. I don't want you to be afraid of the enemy of doubt. Somebody say doubt. I don't care what happens in your life. If you're going to get victory, Cheryl, you got to have a robust faith. You got to have a faith that's bigger than what you're dealing with. And I want to say to somebody in this place, somebody out there, don't let the devil downsize your faith. Don't let the devil minimize your faith, because the faith that you keep will keep you. The same God, I don't care how big the giant is. I don't care how many walls are up on your blessing. I don't care how many burglar bars are around your mind. God is about to tear the walls. Have I got a witness? Tear down. Won't the walls come down? Christina, they will come down. I'm feeling Jesus up in this place. I don't care, Deshauna, how high your walls are. God can bring strongholds. And the devil got a stronghold on your child. The devil got a stronghold on your life. God is trying to get you out of your comfort, because God is trying to make something out of your character. And you've got to believe what God says, and you've got to trust God. Every time that David went against the Philistines, David would always ask God, shall I go against these people? Will you put them into my hand? And you've got to understand, to have a successful faith, you got to have a courageous faith. To have a successful faith, you got to have a vigorous faith. You can't walk no way on your own, but you got to walk with God. And if God is with you, you shall prevail. I said, if God is with you, you shall prevail. No matter how it looks, God will do it through you. Because Israel had faith, they got a permanent blessing. Because Israel had faith, they had a lasting blessing. And what God is trying to do now, God is not just trying to get us to get on top, but God is trying to get us to stay on top. Have I got a witness? God is trying to not get you to start right, but God is trying to get you to stay right. God is trying to get you to subdue the land. He wants you to be fruitful and multiply, but now God wants you to subdue. He wants you to stay on top of this thing. Somebody say, stay on top of this thing. Because the Lord has given you the land. And I need to tell somebody that God has already given you the land. It's already done in the spirit. Come on here. Rudy, it's already done in the spirit. You just waiting. We ain't waiting on God. God is waiting on us. Have I got a witness in this place? Carol, you ain't waiting on God. God is waiting on you. I wish I had a witness in this place. Sandra, we're not waiting on God to do anything. But the only thing, Cheryl, we're waiting on is manifestations. All I want to do, I want to see a little sign, William. I just want to see a little sign. I wish when you got up this morning, that was a little sign. When he started you on your way, Rosabelle, that was a little sign. If you're sitting in here looking at me, or sitting out there looking at me, that's a little sign that God is not through with you, and that God's blessing is already with you. No matter how the storm rise, no matter how the wind blow, Ellis, if God be for us, who can be against us? I wish I had a praying church. I say, if God be for us, Shanika, who can be against us? Ain't God all right? I said, Janet, ain't he all right? Has anybody here ever tried him? I've had to face some tall stuff in my life. Is there anybody here have to face some tall stuff in your life? I had to face some esteem stuff. I had to face some love issues. I also had to face some financial issues. But if I never had a problem, then I wouldn't know God could solve them. If I never got hungry, then I wouldn't know that he was bread. If I never got sick, Adrian, then I never would have found out that he was a doctor. Through it all, I've learned how to trust in Jesus. Oh, shucks. I've learned how to trust in God. And you might wonder how I made it, but you got to have a word in you. Did you hear what I said? Sarah, they wonder how you making it, but you, JW, you got to have a word in you. And every now and then when I don't know what else to say, Isaiah, I got to grab that 27 Psalms that say the Lord is my light. This is why I left off, shucks. And my salvation. Who? Tell your neighbor, ask your neighbor who. I don't care what it look like, who. I don't care what they say, who. I don't care how big it is, who. Who. I don't care about your haters, who. Shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Have I got a witness? In order to possess the opportunities before us, we must experience the power of conquest. Possibilities are before us, but problems are in front of us. Canaan is before us, but giants are in front of us. Have I got a witness? And we must learn the fight. I did not say learn to fight, but I said we must learn the fight. The hardest fight is to keep the faith. The longest night is to just hold on. But if you just hold out until tomorrow, if you just keep the faith through the night, if you just can hold out until tomorrow, everything, I say everything, Sandra, not some things, but Trees, everything is going to be all right. Have I got a witness?